My name is John Brady. I served in the United States Navy from 1994 to 2000. I have 3 deployments in those time frames, all 3 to Iraq.
I am a retired colonel, Jan Bain, and I joined at the age of 17 and served for 34, almost 35 years. And my service included being an enlisted and then becoming an officer. And I served in the Army the entire time. I did 3 deployments, 1 to Bosnia and 2 to Iraq. Some of those were with family and some of those were prior to having a family. I served in mostly logistics and domestic operations.
My name is Janelle Cody, and I was in the United States Army Reserves for 10 years. And I did not do any tours. I was in during the time of Desert Storm, but I was not actually called up.
Staff Sergeant Casey Thompson, E6 Staff Sergeant. Military branch is Nebraska Army National Guard. Actually grew up around here, went to Norris. But tours-wise, I haven't actually gone on a tour. I've always wanted to. I haven't been fortunate enough for that yet. Years in, I've been in for almost 11 years. 7 of them was in the infantry, and then 4 in recruiting.
Out of high school, I was definitely one of those young men who was looking for something different, for something better. And I was actually sitting with a friend watching TV, and a Navy commercial came on TV. And we both kind of looked at each other and said, I think that's what we need to do. And believe it or not, we both went down into the recruiting center and signed up for the Navy immediately without my parents knowing.
So I joined when I was probably about the same age as you guys. I joined at 17. I did the split option, started my junior summer, went away for basic training. And I joined because I wanted them to help pay for my education. I come from a really large family of 16 kids, and I was number 15, and knowing that my family couldn't afford college, I knew that that was a way for college. But I obviously signed up for 6 years and served almost 35. So it became something that I was very proud of being part of, and realized it was much more than just an education route for me.
Well, if you've been in my classroom, I tell students that it's mostly to help pay for schooling. So if that's an option for students, it's a good option. They don't pay for everything, but they definitely help cover the cost so that it makes it affordable to go.
So my grandpa was in Vietnam. 3 of my cousins are in Nebraska Army National Guard and still currently are. But all the way through high school, I remember seeing the recruiters out in the hallway. I know it sounds cliche because now I'm the guy in the hallway. I always thought about it, but then went off to play college baseball, and then that ended up not being for me. And so I actually reached out to one of the recruiters, and ever since then, I've been in the National Guard and loved every minute of it.
Veterans Day is pretty important. It's actually, to me, it's the most important day of the year when it comes to my life. It changed my life from somebody who didn't have a ton of direction as a youngster to really giving me the opportunity to grow and mature in an environment where it really kind of fed the kind of person that I am, kind of a high pace person. And it created an opportunity for me to have some of the best friends I'll ever have. Gave me the opportunity to learn new skills that I would have never gotten anywhere else. And it gave me an opportunity to be a part of something much, much larger than me. To have the honor to serve your country, especially in times of conflict, is an incredible honor, and that's what Veterans Day means to me. It's celebrating those men and women who decided to sacrifice everything that they knew prior to the military service, and give back to their country.
Gosh, just when I hear you even say that, just the thought of Veterans Day, I kind of get a little choked up because it's all of those that I have served with and people who have given so much and answered the call of duty for our country and for the world, really, to make sure that we have the freedoms that we do here in our country, as well as try and help those in other countries learn and maybe have the opportunity to have those same type of freedoms that we do.
It's just a day set aside to remember veterans. A lot of people get it mixed up with Memorial Day, which is honoring those who have fallen, whereas Veterans Day is to honor those who are still living and who are currently serving or have served.
Veterans Day means to me is actually, since I really haven't done any tours, I'm actually still considered a veteran because I'm active duty and done over my 90 days of consecutive active duty. But I more look at it as the veterans that have been overseas, or the people that have, put in a career in the military and stuff like that. I look at it as honoring them and, thanking them for their service and all the stuff that they've sacrificed for our country to make it a free country. I'm honored to be in the military and hopefully represent the soldiers that were before me and the military that were before me.
I think probably the biggest misconception that I can think of is everybody thinks when it comes to military, all they think about is war, and that is not the case. The military, regardless of what branch, is packed full of men and women who learn all different kinds of skills that can help them for the rest of their lives, whether it be trade from plumbing to electrical, and then also into the world of the tactical side of things when it comes to infantry, special operations, stuff like that. The military has a very vast skill set. So I think that's the biggest misconception. Everybody thinks war, everybody thinks rifles and guns, but there's also a tremendous amount of work that goes on the backside of that makes all of that happen.
One of the things that I think is important for kids your age to know is a lot of times they think people go do the military if they can't do other things. And I think our education system and parents should try and encourage folks at your age to consider the military. Only 1% can even meet the requirements of joining the military. And if you want to set yourself apart from somebody else, I think that's a great way to do it. To be part of that elite group that can actually serve. So I guess, when back in World War I and World War II, it was, go to jail, join the military or go to jail was kind of the mentality. And I would tell you that the military has almost every profession and professionals that you could aspire to do. Whether you're being a lawyer or a doctor, we have those in the military too. The only couple that I can't think of is like a beautician, but we all need military haircuts, so there's even a position for them. And whether you want to do it part-time or full-time, there's both of those options as well. If you want to stay in Nebraska, there's that opportunity. You want to travel and see the world, there's opportunities for that as well. So I think it fits almost anybody. It's a matter of just looking into it and finding if it fits you.
Well, it used to be that you didn't get called up necessarily if you were in the reserves or the National Guard. The reserves definitely didn't get called up that much, and so people think too that they're going to travel a lot, whereas most of my tours were done at Hastings, Nebraska or Ashland, so the idea that you're going to travel a lot, if you're in a reserve setting, you may not. Now, that's different today, and it's different with active duty, but a lot of times you just stay stateside.
Oh geez, where to start? Biggest one for me is everybody thinks basic training's like the movies. That's not the case. It's totally different. Also, People always think as soon as you join the military, you're going to go off and fight in a war. Well, depending on the circumstances, that might be the case, but 90% of the time, no. Yeah. Also, when people look at the military, they think it's just all combat jobs. We have actually tons of different jobs. We have veterinarians, doctors, even dental assistants, electricians, plumbers, masonry, you name it, we probably have it in the military. So it's not all front lines, gun to gun, like people think it is.
That's a tough question. I think by just being respectful, they don't have to understand what veterans went through. I get it. They weren't there. I get it. But just be respectful. Not everybody has the same opinion, and we understand that. But by just being respectful and letting us know that you care about the country that we served, it is always awesome. You don't always have to go and thank a veteran. That's okay. But be respectful to them, I think, is the biggest thing.
I think the best thing someone can do, and I think we do it very well in the U.S., at least in Nebraska, is just saying thank you. When you see somebody in uniform or know that they've served, maybe they're wearing a hat that says they were a Vietnam vet, just thank them for their service. That means everything to them. They don't do it for any, free meal or handouts. It's really about just knowing that you appreciate what they do, because those that serve, it is just an honor to have that opportunity to be part of that 1% that do serve, and your thank you is really all they need.
I think one of the main things is like what you're doing right now, just talking to veterans while they're still alive and they're able to tell their stories. Another way is to just maybe visit museums and educate yourself about what veterans have done over the years. One of my favorites is in Kansas City. If you ever get a chance to go there, that's a really good museum and it's not that far away. But just talking to your relatives or people that you know, because I'm sure everybody knows somebody who served in some capacity.
Just thanking a veteran when you see them, respecting of what they did, in the past and what they sacrificed. A lot of them veterans have been through a lot of stuff, and just honoring them and respecting them for what they've gave for their country.